Hello everybody, we got a new video for you today. This one, we got a pot today that actually turned out pretty good. I think that there's not really a lot of problems with this pot. I think at every stage the pot was actually pretty strong and it came together nicely. I think it came to my attention recently that when I'm making these pots, it's like I'm sort of making like little moments on the surface, right? And so these moments or movements, they all come together, and through the collapsing, it's almost like they visually get compressed. And so I thought that was like a really interesting way that somebody was talking to me about, and I just thought it was cool that they came to that sort of conclusion when looking at the work and through the videos. But again, we're doing some more zooming than what we have done before. And I really like that you guys can sort of see what I'm doing. And hold on one second, just so you guys know, like, that is something that people would do in like 3 moves. You can do it in 1 move, right? And for me, I've never really had to compress the bottoms of my pots, right? It's never been something that I've been interested in. But you can see that I did the push down with my thumb, then pull out and up all in 1 move. And so it really saves a lot of time, and then as I'm working against the camera overheating, it really helped out. And you can see right now we got a pretty good start to this pot. I mean, it's pretty cylindrical. You can see on the top that maybe I'm going a little bit too fast, as those throwing lines are a little bit more visible. Compressing that a little bit. I got a little bit wiggly. I went a little bit too fast down, but again, I'm just starting to establish the ring, and I'm pulling that all the way up to the sky. Sometimes I like that you can see like my nose just like comes out of the frame and the image. It's like a shark fin. But anyway, here we are doing a nice little collar here too. And so now we're just going to be working on establishing the top, right? The bottom, the clay is pretty much, wait, okay, maybe not yet. We're going to work on the top in a second. We're going to do one more pull. As I say, after those 2 pulls, the clay's still a little bit thick. Preferably, if you're starting out, you would probably want to work on the top right there instead of doing this next pull. But here I'm doing a pretty drastic pull, like ring, and you can see it gets a little bit wobbly on the top there. Or cattywampus, I kind of like that name. It gets a little bit cattywampus on the top, but it's okay. We're just going to collar it in to try to get it level, and then we're going to go back in and try to get rid of those moments. It's just getting a little bit too thin, and I was also noticing that the top of this pot had a little bit too much clay, and so here I am. I'm trying to just... I slowed the wheel down a little bit more than what it was before, and so here I am. I'm just trying to sort of get a lot of that clay stretched out so then I can make it work for the twist pole here in a second. And so here I am again, collaring that in a little bit. Pull, collar, until you get it to your desired thickness, right? You don't want to push too much, and so you just go a little bit slow. And here we're going to start with the twist. This twist was okay. You can see it almost adopts like an ellipse on that bottom, which isn't the best. And then it also looks very short. This is a very short one. I wish I would have gone down a little bit more on this one and started it. And so you can also see that I'm trying to fix that bottom part that got that lip started, and so I'm going underneath of it. And whenever you see a problem, go underneath and try to pull it through, and that will help you out like a bunch when you're making some ceramic objects. We're going to zoom out here now, and we're going to start the pulls. The drastic pull was really good this time. I lined it up nicely, and you can see on my face I'm super focused. I messed it up the past couple days, so I wanted to make sure I got a good one for you guys today. So, and here we are. We're just sort of getting that ready, and then we're just going to help it fall down. Boom. And make sure that little drop, it doesn't completely collapse. And then we're going to go put our little flap in to make the blossom. And then see, it was shallow, so then I have to assist that top ridge. And so what I mean by shallow is that twist is too shallow for me to totally flap that all the way down. And so I have to sort of assist that top part. And I sort of like what it's doing. It creates this little tunnel. I've had some really nice moments with glaze in those, I don't even know what you call it, the right near the spout, that little flap where those two things are touching. It's a beautiful part for the pot. Like, that's a beautiful moment, but it also can create just the most lovely glaze additions. And you can also see on this bottom, I'm going a little bit slower, and I'm trying not to mess around with the structure of that bottom too much, because it's already kind of, it's pretty thin in a lot of spots, and you can kind of tell it was really thin by the way it collapsed, right? It really kind of jumped downwards, and so it got a little bit too thin on some of those spots. But I'm gonna go right underneath, take our little wooden knife, try to just get enough where I can slide my finger under. And when I'm doing it, I'm also trying to compress that clay. So I wish you could see the other side, but I'm putting my finger on the interior, and it's sitting right in the little the distance between the wall that I'm pulling right now and the pot. And so it's sitting in there, sort of compressing it, and I'm taking that finger from the outside, and I'm trying to sneak it up under, and I'm doing almost exactly like what I would do for a pull, but a little bit slower, because you don't really have a good angle. And you can see here I'm starting the little flange or the skirt of the pot, and right there in that moment you can see that it didn't line up properly. So right now I'm assessing, okay, what do I need to do? I messed it up, and so we're just going to sit over on that corner. And I was like, okay, well, this is an easy fix. That's all. I actually just messed up the timing right on that last one, and I did a little bit too short, and that's all I got to do is just fix that one spot. I didn't even have to adjust the two other sides. I just had to sort of fix it, and there we go. We got a really even looking skirt on the pot. We're going to get it off the bottom there, and that's the pot for the day. I've been really kind of liking the speed and the tempo of these videos, and I can sort of keep talking without long pauses. And so first, it's a good test for me to make sure I'm like saying stuff that's important in at least the context of the pot. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. All the best and strong mentality. Peace.